Well, it's just a part of who we are, because my husband, he's always stressed that we be a good steward of what we've been given, and God has blessed us, and then we can turn around and give back.
Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and we have a guest on the show tonight that perhaps you've already recognized, Susie Everett.
Good morning, or no?
Yeah,
Good, start.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, who is up at 11 p.m. but us and our viewing audience? There are people all over the state, Memphis, Tennessee, and parts of Missouri, Louisiana, Oklahoma, maybe even some parts of Texas, where my daughter's in Texarkana, Texas. This show airs there. So people recognize you because of you and your husband and your family's dealership. I say dealership with an S on the end.
Yes.
People recognize you from television. Wonder why they're thinking, are you on this show? So I'm just going to tell everybody why you're here, and then we'll get a little bit more personal.
Okay.
You're here because you support the ministry of Second Chance Youth Ranch. Your company, your family, your staff help support the ranch because y'all believe in helping kids in care. So before we get too deep in that, tell us a little bit, because people recognize you, and I know I was at McClard's Barbecue on Friday. And as soon as I sat down, a gentleman 2 tables over kept looking at me. So I looked at him and I looked back, and he's still looking at me, and I'm like, why is he looking at me? He recognized me from TV. He later told me he always watches me for 5 minutes and then turns the channel. But he works for Roller Funeral Home. And we're good friends with Roller. We just bought 3.5 acres for them 2 years ago to expand our church ministry and our school ministry here. So people recognize you, and they think they know you.
Right.
Well, on this show, they're going to get to know you.
Well, I just usually tell them they probably saw me at Walmart.
So, we all go to Walmart.
That's right.
Our slogan here is Walmart doesn't have it, we don't need it. Susie, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about you. Where did you grow up?
Well, actually, I grew up outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, lived there till I was 10 years old. And then my family moved from there to Benton.
To Benton.
Mm-hmm. So I've been here since I'm 10 years old.
So you went to Benton High School then?
I did. Graduated from Benton High.
Golly, I'm not going to ask you what year.
I know, well,
You're not telling anyway,
back.
Are you? And when did you get married?
I got married almost 44 years ago.
Wow. And your husband, Dwight?
He's from here. He's from Benton.
He's a Benton guy.
Yes,
Grew up here.
Yes, all his life.
And so, did you have a career at some point prior to the automobile industry?
Well, definitely. My husband has been in the car business most of our married life. And no, I went to school, graduated from, went to Ouachita for a couple of years, and graduated from UAMS as a nurse practitioner.
Really?
Yes.
See, I've known you for a number of years. I've interviewed you at our chapel for Arkansas Christian Academy, and I don't think I even found that out then. I didn't know you were a nurse practitioner.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was a 5-year degree at that time. I think now you have to go on and get your master's and even maybe your
My
doctorate.
granddaughter is endeavoring in the coming year of 2022 to go to UMS. She was going to be a nurse practitioner. I think she's decided more so a surgical physician's assistant. You know anybody at UMS we can call? So you're really a licensed nurse practitioner, yes. But you're also not just a wife, you're a mom.
Yes.
How many kids y'all got?
We've got 2 daughters.
2 daughters. Mm-hmm. We have 2 daughters. Daughters are the best.
Yes, most of the time.
Yeah, raising daughters.
Yeah, they're good.
That's nerve-wracking, isn't it? I say if God wanted me to have more than 2 daughters, he'd have given me a 3rd knee. I only had 2 knees for our daughters to sit on.
That's true.
And, so you've got 2 daughters. I suspect then it's possible you have some grandkids?
Yeah, I've got 6 grandchildren, yes.
6 of them. How old are they? How old's the oldest?
2 are 14, 2 are 11, and one is 7 and one is 6.
Wow, you're pretty good about that.
Yes. Well, they had them all at the same time, just about,
Yeah.
except for the last set.
I try to explain to people how many, I have 7 grandchildren, and my wife has to correct me because I get it wrong all the time. I really struggle with their birthdays.
Yeah.
So how did y'all make the move, or how did you make the move from being a nurse practitioner, a mom and a grandmom? When did you get involved in the car business with your husband?
Well, my husband retired from, it was a group in the car business. He retired and he was off for about 9 months.
Yeah.
And opportunity came to buy a dealership. And at that time, I was not getting paid to work. I was part of the Christian Community Care Clinic, and that was my baby. That's what I did. I worked with that. And when he said he wanted to do this, I said, well, I'll help you any way I can.
Yeah.
I had no idea the definition of what that was.
Let me ask you, when you mentioned a Christian care clinic, now I think that's probably because you were a nurse practitioner.
Yes.
Is that clinic still going?
Yes, it is. We're like 20 years in. It's just amazing.
And you're still involved in that?
I'm still on the board there, and then occasionally I go in and volunteer.
What is the
as a
name of
nurse.
that clinic?
The Christian Community Care Clinic in Benton.
Is that Jim Gregory? That's not counseling
No,
clinic.
that's the counseling clinic.
Okay.
Even though they do refer people to the counseling clinic.
So what does the clinic that you're involved in, what do y'all do there? What services?
It provides medical care for those that can't afford health insurance. Things changed since the Obamacare came in, so our clientele's a little bit different. The need is not as great. I really think there is still a need out there, but a lot of people have insurance with a high deductible, but that's another story.
Yeah, for sure.
But then we do, it's a lot of diabetic care, and it's good. It's good to go in there. I usually do the exit nurse part, and but I sit and I just try to listen to their story because they're waiting on their medicines anyway, and so that's good to
There's
talk
two
to.
things we're going to talk about in the coming segments. I want the audience to know this. Number one, you mentioned Christian Care Clinic.
Yes.
We want to talk about Christianity and your faith and what role that plays. And we want to find out a little bit more about why you're involved in some way with Second Chance Youth Ranch, and find out how people can be involved too. So you attend church somewhere in Saline County?
Yes, we go to First Baptist Church in Benton.
And your pastor's name?
Rick Grant.
And if you didn't know the pastor, I'd question that you attended there. I used to catch shoplifters and they all went to church when I worked in business, and I said, oh, well, what's your preacher's name? And that was always the tell if they didn't know the preacher's name. And I said, well, if you don't know his, does he know yours? But you guys have been involved in First Baptist for a long time. Great church, a real foundational church in the city of Benton, and we love what they are doing in our community. We're going to take a brief break and be right back with Susie Everett. Hi, I'm Perry Black right here at Arkansas Christian Academy. Are you looking for a faith-based Christian education for your student? Arkansas Christian Academy just celebrated our 20th year right here in Central Arkansas. We're one of the best kept secrets in private school education right here in the state. Why don't you take a moment, visit us, visit our website, make a phone call, come take a tour. We would love to meet you and your family and show you the opportunities that are available to your student. We have golf, baseball, 8-man football, volleyball, and basketball, along with many other extracurricular activities and courses like IT and television. Why not take a moment, visit our website, make that phone call. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you right here on our campus. God bless.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly, and helps provide for a home in the Gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. If for some reason you're just joining us, I know our brief segments between interviews are touching your heart. My prayer is that it inspires you to get involved and engage in helping solve the foster care issues for hurting kids in the state of Arkansas. Because I believe, it's easy to turn a canoe. I turned one over, but it's hard to turn a big ship. In this small state of Arkansas, we're kind of like an acorn. We're kind of like a little nut. It may be hard for a major city like New York or a major state like Texas, but to solve the foster care issue in Arkansas, the adoptive issue, there's about 350 children in Arkansas that are waiting for a permanent, forever adoptive family. Thousands of churches. Susie, what would happen if every church in Arkansas, no matter how big or how small, all got together, just 25 or 50 people in a small Arkansas church, and said, if you as a young married couple would adopt a child, we as a church would come alongside you and help you. You know how quickly we could find homes for every child in waiting?
That's a simple,
just like that.
Simple solution. Wish we would do that.
And we can do that, and with ministries like The Call and Project Zero at Second Chance Ranch and the Baptist Home and Compact in Hot Springs and the Methodist Home at 20th and Fillmore in Little Rock, where I lived for 3.5 years, we can do it. We Christians can do it. So I'm going to come back to what you mentioned earlier. You said as a nurse practitioner, to this day, you're still involved in the Christian Care Clinic in Benton. Mm-hmm. You're a member of First Baptist. You guys have been there. Dwight, I guess, probably has been there most of his life.
Yes, we were.
Because he's homegrown.
Yeah, we were members of another church for quite a few years, and then he did start out there.
Yeah. So, why Christianity? How did you come to faith in Jesus Christ? You're a Tulsa girl, and then you came to the natural state or the land of opportunity.
Well, actually, I'm Tulsa, but I'm outside of Tulsa, and it was a Coyote Trail.
Really? The name of the town?
No, that was my road. We lived near Keystone, which was a lake. But anyway, very country.
Nowata, Oklahoma, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, a lot of really neat areas. I was watching a cowboy movie recently. I didn't even realize how many different tribes of Native Americans are really all around throughout Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. So how did you come to faith, though? How old were you? What happened?
My parents are Christians. They actually didn't become Christians until they got married. And so they were a big factor in me knowing the Lord. And I was very young. I was 6 years old when I accepted Christ as my Savior.
At church or Vacation Bible
School?
I
was at church. I can remember the pastor, and I can remember I've got the little New Testament that I got,
cool.
1962.
Wow.
1962, November 1962 is when that happened. And, I trusted in Jesus, and then later, at that young age, you do more sinning after after you've become a Christian, and then you think, well, was I really a Christian? Yeah. But then, I had my episodes of doubts, and then but then I realized, no, that was the journey I was on. That was the path I chose.
So somewhere, based on what you just said, somewhere you kind of, like so many of us, got off track a little bit. How old were you when you really realized, man, Jesus needs to be like the center of everything I am?
It was, I think the really true time that was my freshman year of college, because it was John chapter 15, just realizing I needed to cling to the vine. Yep. I remember a pastor saying, make like a leaf and hang there.
Isn't that the truth?
And just hang on to him and abide in him. And that was a big, solid time in my life.
First sermon I ever preached. was 1973, before I ever went off to Texas to Bible school, was John 15.
It's one of my favorite passages.
I love it. If you abide in me and my word abides in you, and so forth. And the book, The Vine, came out some years ago. Did you read that?
I did. We did a study on that.
How God lifts us up. We think about the pruning, but he really lifts us up. I'm growing tomatoes at my house, and I have a tomato, big old tomato, and it's right on the dirt, and it rots. You got to lift that up. And that's what Jesus said. If we'll lift him up, he lifts us up, changes our lives.
That's true.
So you were a freshman in college. That was probably at OBU?
Yes.
Were you like in a campus ministry there, or were you just in your dorm room? You remember?
Oh, you mean when
you recommitted your life, said,
that
hey,
was,
I need to get real.
It was like, they call it noonday, and the pastor comes and speaks, and actually he was doing a series that week, and I was,
Got you, didn't he?
It did.
How did you come to know about the ministry of Second Chance Youth Ranch?
Well, I had heard a little bit about it. In fact, I think my daughters had gone out there to try to volunteer at the ranch, I think, doing a few things, and then didn't really know that much about it. Then a young lady that worked for us, I believe, was volunteering. And so over the years, I had kind of heard about it. Now, I don't know if you want to know how I, really got involved with it.
Well, we invited you to come to our Bryant campus, where we had at that time 2 foster homes right here on our 25 acres where the church is, and now we have 3. We just finished one, and we invited you to just come talk to our girls.
Yes, that's when I met Rachel, and I think she was about to have her second baby, and that's been a while now, which I think she's either 6 or 7 maybe. And I met Rachel then, and I got to meet these young ladies, these young girls that...
sitting around the living room or the kitchen table?
Yeah, sitting around the living room, and then Gina's catering fed them, so we had lunch, and we got to visit some more.
Did the girls recognize you from TV? Did they know who you were as far as television in the local community?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they did. Some of them did, because I wanted to tell them, that things are going to work out, and to be strong and believe in yourself and that kind of thing. So maybe, that's probably... When
you meet students in care, it has a huge impact, not just in their lives, but really in a lot of ways more so in ours. Rachel and I just recently did a show just on job opportunities at the ranch and how you can become a foster parent, if not at the ranch, in the community here in Central Arkansas. It changes our lives.
Yes.
We're going to take a brief break and come back and find out what else is God doing in your life. So we'll be right back.
So if you had a pile of $1 million or a home that you could have forever, which would you choose?
The home. That's an obvious question.
Why? Why would you give up $1 million?
Because having a home is like $1 million, because usually when you have a home, other kids don't have homes. My name is Devin. I am 15.
And what grade are you in?
The 9th.
Do you like school?
So-and-so.
Okay. What do you like about school?
Lunch.
Lunch?
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you like to do when you're not in school?
Normal stuff. Play video games, play basketball, or watch TV. Because that's pretty much all we can do.
What kind of family would you want to adopt you?
Basically, a person with video games and animals, which I really love animals. And also a place that I can go, like a big backyard, because I have a lot of sugar in my system, you gotta have a big backyard.
What would you want them to know about you?
That I can be smart when I want to, that's the one thing. And I can also do a lot of chores in the house, that's one thing. Like bathrooms and all that, you name it, I can do it. I also learned how to take care of animals. That's another thing, because I love animals. And I know a lot about them.
Could you tell me why you're in foster care?
My mom was doing drugs, and I think they felt like it wasn't really safe around my mom.
And how long ago was that?
I think about 10 years ago.
When you said you don't have anywhere else to go, what did you mean by that?
Like no foster homes. I only have like group homes at facilities.
Do you have a preference for which one you like more? Or?
I would say group homes. Facilities are just the worst.
If you could wish for one thing, what would you wish for?
To get a home. That's basically all.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our goal on this show, really and honestly, is just to keep telling you of the vast opportunities that you can be involved in fostering, adopting, or mentoring. You know, everybody can't be a foster parent. Right. It's just more than they can commit to. Everybody's not called to adopt. We could solve the adoption problem. I met with the founder of Project Zero on television just a few weeks ago. And I said, if we had 350 children adopted right now, would that solve it? She said, till tomorrow. Because children are coming into the adoption pipeline almost every day. Just literally 2 weeks ago, Rachel and Billy called and said, there are 4 children, I think it was 4 children in a nearby county. It's Friday afternoon. If we don't take these children right now, they will sleep on the couch at the office of DHS. So we took those kids. We have 2 homes right now where we need foster parents. $50,000 a year, they get a van, food, utilities, insurance, a great compensation package, a great team to work with, and a great opportunity to see lives change forever. Everett GMC and all the other manufacturers that you guys represent and sell have been such an integral part for the past several years. I know we don't tout our giving, but I do want to acknowledge what you and your family have done. Just, I don't know, it's been maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago at one of our annual fundraisers. Y'all gave us the keys to new vans. Just in recent weeks, working with GMC, y'all committed to help us buy 3 new vans, $30,000. If we could raise $30,000, we raised over $55,000 within about 3 weeks. And just offset just moments ago, due to manufacturing issues and all that's gone on in the past year, we are getting ready to buy 3 new vans if we can find them. And just off air, Rachel told us that your staff has found us a new van.
Hopefully it'll be
hopefully,
the one.
prayerfully, we got to secure that thing. Why do we need vans? Our ranch is about 40 minutes from Bryant and Benton. The roads are pretty rough on vehicles. And so we're ready to update our vans, and you guys committed to do that. We're going to do something on this show, Susie. We're going to ambush you. We've never done this, but at Second Chance Ranch, Arkansas Christian Academy, our family church, we say anybody can be a zero, but not just everybody's a hero. And we want to give you on air a certificate. And we could have got you a 99-cent certificate frame, but I figured you might want to put that somewhere that's meaningful to you. And we want to acknowledge that you are a 2CYR hero, you and your family, for all that you do that nobody ever knows about. Not just for Second Chance Youth Ranch, but all the stuff you do for our public schools, our school, Arkansas Christian Academy, kids in our community. And I drive by your dealership every day. And just a few days ago, I saw Billy, Rachel, Chad, Amanda, and you up on your big digital sign. And I said, honey, isn't that awesome? And what God is doing at the ranch, He's also doing through people like you and our viewers and our partners, and partnering together, we can change the lives of all these hurting kids. So I want to acknowledge you are, and your husband, and Everett dealerships, a 2CYR hero. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. It's always humbling to be honored in some way like that.
Especially when you just do it for the Lord.
Exactly. It's it's His work. It's His. Yeah. It's all His.
And I think a lot of people don't recognize or don't understand that as Christians, everything we do 24/7. It's all about Him. And that's really what I love about your business values, your professional values. We're family owned and customer friendly. And we respect that. And I see so many things that y'all do in the community that nobody knows about. People always say, well, it's all about the money. Well, yeah, it ain't a hobby. But when we're able to provide a service, we're able to have an income, and we're able then to provide opportunities for those much less fortunate. So we appreciate you and thank you and your family for what you do.
Well, thanks. Well, it's just a part of who we are, because my husband, you know, he's always stressed that we be a good steward of what we've been given, and God has blessed us, and then we can turn around and, you know, and give back.
So we've got about 2 minutes. Why are you as a believer so involved in the lives of the community, and why do you support Second Chance Youth Ranch?
Well, I think about Second Chance Ranch the most, because that's what we're here really to talk about, is to you know, get more support. It's because y'all are reaching out to that, really the helpless, the ones that need you the most, these kids, and you're not just offering that safety and security, you're offering them, you're offering Christ. You're offering them for a life, a way to not just abundant life here, but eternal life. Yeah. You're making a kingdom difference, and to me, that's my favorite thing to support, is when people are out there working to make a kingdom difference. You know,
we say an eternal difference in the lives of hurting kids.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing is, you can help improve someone's environment, but until you change the heart, you've not completed the task or the responsibility Jesus came to give us. A changed heart changes a life and a destiny. He's changed your life. Mm-hmm. You encountered Him as a little girl and then recommitted as a young lady in college. He's a life changer. He's a way maker, a chain breaker.
Yes, right. Amen.
So I just want to encourage our viewers. You recognize Susie, but I want you to recognize what she said off camera. We want to lift up Jesus in this interview, because He is the one who changes our lives and helps us through His grace and mercy be life changers. Changing a heart, one prayer, one gift, one life at a time, and therefore changing the world. You can be involved in Second Chance Youth Ranch. Contact us if you have any interest in fostering, adopting, mentoring your small group, your Sunday school group, or your business. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, we'll see you right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV.